Hey everybody, this is Dr. Lusheen, and I had promised you all last week, I apologize I didn't get it out by then, that I was going to put together this quick tutorial because I'm encouraging you to use some form of AI in order to generate your case study reports. I know the first one's going to be a little bit more difficult, but that's what we learned from. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. This is all came out of some of the sessions I attended at the Safety 2026 event in Anaheim just a couple weeks ago. So first thing to realize is that what is a GTP? It's generating text based on probability. And so it's not it may sound right, but you don't know if it's right or not, because what it's really doing is it's forming content based on what it's finding out on the web. And it may key on the more guardrails you can put on your prompt. So if you give it documents, say based on these documents, based on the flow or the delivery of this example, please put this together. You're going to get a much more accurate representation or generated document, and you won't have to change as much. But if you have broad, create this for me, or try and define this for me without giving it some additional guidance or information, it could be anything. It could be completely random. So keep that in mind as we go through. Now, this is the format that was provided by a professor out of West Virginia, University of West Virginia. So what he indicated in his presentation, and it was very provocative, is that there are 7 things you should put in a prompt. Be specific and give it a role, a context, example. You've already read all this stuff. That's really important. So for your example, when you're writing the case study report, I wouldn't say I'm a university intern writing this for my faculty advisor. I would say I am an EHS manager who's going to be trying to convince upper management to invest into the results of this case study. And and you could say what industry you're in. I wouldn't necessarily tell you the company it's in, or narrow it to a state or a topic. Really try to be as specific as possible with everything you put here. And it may take several tries. I created a presentation for a construction conference down in Florida. I went through 10 iterations until I got something I wanted, and then I made actually my own personal edits. A lot of you said you've been using either Chat or Copilot. This is just a very short list put together regarding what are some of the pros and cons. But the main lesson here is it's how you prompt. It's how you evaluate and improve on those prompts that is really going to get you to the best submittable document. And in putting this presentation together, in putting together the tutorial workbook, it took me several tries. I think it was like 4 or 5 where, yeah, that's a good basis, but you need to include this too. Or I didn't like the way you put this table together. Here's an example of what I'd like. So it's really about prompting and not what you're actually using. Later on, I'm going to have another tutorial where we're going to try to use this to put together your weekly, your daily journals, which I think AI can be used to put that together. But the reflection part, you really need to write by yourself, because that's you reading what you put together and making sense of it and trying to apply it. And maybe you use that to generate the next version of your short-term, long-term goals, or to improve the presentation of your journal. But then you have to tell me that you did that. So that's something we probably shouldn't have jumped into too quick, but that's kind of, it wanted, again, putting the workbook together, Claude wanted me to put in some more information. And so here's just an example of some things to think about as you're putting together your prompts. And I think it gives really good examples when I ask it to do it. Here's professional case study reports and presentations, which you'd want to do. Consultant, subject matter expert. Yes. Okay. So that's better than my admission of an EHS manager to management, but that's, you try different things and you see what you get. And I think it does a really good job of putting this stuff together. There's just 5 items here, but I think it's really good. Here's the other thing you can do. I spent most of the day today updating the case study assignment. and updating the grading rubric. I think I simplified it and added language I think is important. You can use this 17-page document or whatever it is to help you grade it before you submit it. Not only should you use it in order to prep yourself for a better prompt and what to put together and the format of it and what it looks like, you can then, after you've completed your work and reviewed it for yourself, put it through and use the document itself of what I expect, and then also the grading rubric, and have it score it for you. And then you can ask it, what can I do to improve this? And then you can put those changes in, or ask it to do some of the changes too. But again, it's not always perfect. Sometimes it stumbles. And so, another thing you need to do is you need to clearly state the disclosure statement. And for those of you who had been in class, this is what something they do. So I want you to be able to identify what you used for AI, whether it was more than one, how it was used, what you contributed, and then source documents. And once you've completed the work, whatever you use can actually help determine that. You can ask it to do that once it's completed as well. But my recommendation is when you're developing the cover page for your report, that's when I would do it. I would do it all in the same chat line or the same project, and it should be able to attest to what it contributed versus what you did, especially as you go through the different iterations of updating it and providing it and what you learned from when you had it pre-graded before you submitted it. All this is only going to take a few hours. That's all it should take. If you do it by yourself, this is something that could take days. It only takes a few hours using AI as you become more comfortable with it. And here's just an example here. So here are the 6 checks I would do before you submit. This is just my recommendation. You may only have to do a couple of these, but I'm trying to be as broad as possible, because some of you will need more or less of this. And you may want to change the language. Not the actual like English versus Spanish, but the pros, that write this in as if, I'm a senior in high school or something like that. You find out what works best for you, especially who you're going to be delivering it to kind of dictates what that's going to be. So here's an example of prompts. And this is something I got from one of you, and I don't remember who it is, but thank you for bringing this up because this was really important. Make a sign warning about forklifts. It's just going to be sort of a general sign. But if you tell it to use the ANSI standard and third grade language, English and Spanish, use visuals, you're going to get a better product. So that's what it's really all about. Now, I think an earlier version of this had actually created the signage, but I didn't like the actual visuals it put into it. So I said, pull it out, kind of tie this together. But again, what is it? You tell it what you really want. And if you don't like the first version, say, well, this is what I like about it. This is what I didn't like about it. Could you bring more of this in or take some of this out? So again, that's their iterative improvement. So what do I want you to take away from this? This has already been too long. The structure is what's important. The more you put into it. So I've been writing prompts now that are super long paragraphs. But I get what I want more likely than when I put something more basic and it would give me something and then I would sort of trial and error it. But maybe that's where it has to begin, is the trial and error. And then maybe by the time you do the second report, it's like, man, we did it on the second try. It was pretty awesome. So, that's really what it's all about. And don't just trust what it gives you. Make sure you read it all through, make the corrections. I had to do some major editing for the case study assignment. So there will be 2 more coming up. I'm going to actually put one together for the case study writing. This is meant to kind of give you just sort of a kickoff. And then as I learn and teach myself to use the voice to text and how to use that for journaling or report, it'd be for journaling and reflective writing. I'll put that together too, even though everybody's been kind of typing it up as we go. So just really, really quickly, I just want to try and show you the other document, which is right here. So this is the Prompting for Professional Practice workbook. It is 17 pages. I got a table of contents, and this is a little bit more in depth. You can start with what I talked about here in this video, but this is also here for you. I'll give you a copy of the presentation and this recording through my YouTube channel. So I hope this really helped you out. Contact me if you have any questions. Again, we're kind of learning from each other here, and I will be creating 2 additional videos like this, tutorials, in the very near future. All right, thank you.